Hey everybody, it's me, Jill, and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 4, Episode 7, An Olive Branch with Thorns. We open this week at Angie's house, and she is getting invitations ready because she is throwing a big Greek Easter party. Side note, Angie K is Greek. I don't think she's ever mentioned it on the show before. So yeah, just a little background info there. So she's writing the invitations, and then there's a knock at the door, or the doorbell rings, and it's the Easter Bunny, which of all of the costumey type things that adults do for kids, somehow the Easter Bunny is the creepiest. Anyway, this gets worse because the Easter Bunny is there to pick up the invitations and hand deliver them to each of the women. Not at their homes, but wherever they happen to be. For example, Whitney is accosted while she's going for a walk. Mary is in her car when the Easter Bunny taps on her window and hands it to her through the car window. Lisa's in the middle of doing one of her confessionals when he has an invitation for her. But probably the worst of all is Heather's, because the bunny is hiding in the back seat of her car when she gets in. I'm surprised she didn't mace him. I would have. And I'm talking even after I knew it was a bunny giving me an invitation to Angie's party. Still would have maced him. Because don't get in my car. I'm a single woman. Are you nuts? All right, the next scene is date night with Justin and Whitney. And if I didn't know any better, I would say these two are on a first date and there won't be a second. No, this is kind of like they met on Hinge, and when they showed up, it was Justin. It's so mean. This is in my head right now because I just got my hair done yesterday, and my stylist was saying that she just had a Hinge date. And when she saw him for the first time, she was like, no. And I said, didn't he have a picture on his profile? And she goes, yeah, looked nothing like the picture. For one thing, he said he was 6'2", and she said he was 5'9" in shoes. So anyway, I just had that in my mind right now. But the reason I'm saying there would be no second date is because Whitney is in a mood. Like, maybe they should have postponed the dinner because something was bothering her from the get-go. She asks him about his new job, and he has the audacity to say that it's really good to be back at work, but it feels overwhelming. Well, you would have thought that he just said, it's good to be back at work, and I just started having an affair with my assistant. Because her reaction to him saying he was overwhelmed, she's like, "You're overwhelmed?" He's like, yes. She goes, "I'm sinking. When you get up in the morning, you sit on the couch, turn on the TV, and start scrolling through Instagram, and it drives me f***ing nuts." Then she tells us in her confessional that one morning she's cooking breakfast. Bobby and Brooks are fighting. The dog pees on the couch, and I'm trying to referee the kids, clean the dog's mess, and I forgot about the bacon. So the smoke alarm is going off, and I look over, and Justin is just sitting there on his phone. God forbid he flipped the bacon for me. Yeah, I get it. That would piss me off too. So basically, Whitney tells Justin that they have a communication problem. She doesn't like that he doesn't wear his wedding ring, that it triggers her when she opens the drawer and she sees his ring sitting in there. And so I guess to retaliate, she left her ring and went out or something. Anyway, she just said that like this behavior at all, like she feels like she's retreating. And he just says, well, I don't want you to do that. I'm sorry. But clearly something's going on with those two. Anyway, next we are with Elisa and Angie at a wax place. I don't like a candle place, but like where you melt wax, and I don't know. I never really saw what they did, and I'm not sure I've ever seen a place like this, but Are they dipping their hands in the wax? Are they, I don't know. What are they doing? Waxing their eyebrows? I don't know. I never saw them do anything other than sit there, pick out the scents of wax that they want. Lisa picked linen and tulip, which actually sounds lovely. Angie picked out frankincense, myrrh, and clove, which I know she's having an Easter party, but sounds very Christmassy to me. But really nothing happens here other than while their girl is going to like mix up their wax potions or whatever. Another girl who works there kind of does a double take and looks over, and then she comes over and says, "Are you Jack Barlow's mom?" And Lisa goes, "Yeah." And she said, "Oh, I'm a good friend of Jack's." And the reason I know this is set up is because wouldn't your next thing be, "Oh, nice to meet you. How do you know him? Or do you have classes with him?" Whatever. The next sentence out of Lisa's mouth is, "Did you know Jack's going on a mission?" You don't want to know anything about this girl? That felt weird. Anyway, the girl said, "Yes, I knew." "Did you know before me?" And the girl goes, "Yeah, I did know before you." Lisa, "You did? Oh my God." Okay, bye. It was like, yeah, weird. That was it. I mean, I guess we're just left to wonder if this candle girl was the beautiful young woman that Jack asked to prom. Anyway, Angie and Lisa start to talk about Greek Easter and who Angie invited. And it turns out that it's everyone except Meredith. Now, Lisa is shocked that she's inviting Monica and is now trying desperately to convince Angie that Monica is a bad actor. She's like, "Meredith brought up the rumor, but Monica ran with it and said what it was. So in my mind, they're equally to blame." Because, Angie was saying, I was going to invite Meredith, and then I was thinking, no, I'm not going to invite her. So Lisa basically wants Angie to blame Meredith and Monica, or maybe even Monica more, because as Lisa said, she's trying to reconnect with Meredith. And, they're trying to have their fresh start. I will say that she does get Angie to start thinking that maybe her friendship with Monica, it was born of like a mutual trauma they experienced from Jen Shah. But now Angie's wondering if maybe that's not enough to, forge a friendship over. Okay, now I can't tell you how happy I am that we are getting this next scene, but I will say it was a little anticlimactic. We are at Mary's house, and it is Mary and Robert Jr. He's bringing her a cup of coffee from somewhere, like, it had a lid on it and everything. And he goes to hand it to her. She's like, no, set it down, because you're a mess. Thanks, Mom. So he sets it down. He goes to sit down. And Mary said, "So why am I hearing rumors that you're married?" Yeah, finally. He just smiles. If you remember anything about Robert Jr. at all, he is a man of very few words. And she's like, "Is it true?" Robert Jr. I don't know. What? I would just say if you don't know you're married, you're probably too young to be married. He's 20, by the way. So either way, he's too young to be married in my book. But anyway, Mary's like, "You don't know? I mean, maybe, kinda, sorta. Yes, no. Please let it be no. What is it, son?" Robert Jr. Kinda, yeah. We went to the courthouse. Yeah. It's like kind of being pregnant. "Oh, you're married, son." And Mary goes, "Where was I when it happened? You just snuck out and did it?" And he goes, Yeah, it was low key. It happened about a year ago." He was married. He's been married for a year. And Mary just found the time to ask him now. Oh, God, I love it. Mary gives her classic bug eyes when he says it's been almost a year. Mary tells us in her confessional that, yes, they live in the same house, but they live in separate wings. So she really doesn't see them very much. She knows that his wife lives with him. but because she doesn't interact with them that much, she didn't know. Although she did say that there was one day that they were both dressed up nice and they ran, like full on ran out of the house. And she assumes maybe that was it, but she didn't know where they were going at like full tilt. So that's weird. Because why? If it happened almost a year ago, it doesn't seem to be like a pregnancy thing. I have no idea what the rush was a year ago. And by rush, I mean to literally be running out of the house. But Mary just didn't really ask any questions about it. It's so weird. What isn't weird is that this next part feels almost normal to me. It's very unlike Mary. And it's, dare I say, like sweet? She said, "Oh, you're my only son. I don't have anyone else, just you." I mean, and Robert Sr., your husband, but unclear where he lives. It might be Florida. And Mary starts to cry. And I'm feeling a little heartbroken for her. I almost feel like it's not that she's mad, but she wanted to be there, you know? So Robert Jr. said, "I'm still here." Yeah, and he's got his own wing of your mansion rent-free. So I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. Anyway, he hugs her and she's like, "My baby, don't ever be afraid to tell me anything." I mean, the shocking part of this scene is how normal this whole like reaction is. This part of her being very nurturing and motherly to him. It feels weird to say it, but it was very sweet. She does ask him if he thinks he made the right decision because he's only 20. I mean, that is pretty young, especially because there's no indication that he really has to take care of himself. And like Mary said in her confessional, I mean, I don't think he knows that, like, I'm not supporting both of them. So I don't know. But I have a feeling she will. Listen, she's been supporting both of them for a year. She has been supporting this married couple for a year. She just didn't know it. And now that I'm thinking it through in my head, if I'm him, that's a really good reason not to tell your mother you're getting married. Because what if she says, "Well, you're married now, you need to support yourself and your wife." But if it's just his girlfriend living with them, mom will still take care of him. It's kind of smart. Okay, in the next scene, Heather is FaceTiming with her oldest daughter, Ashley. I think that's her oldest daughter. She was like just getting back from spring break and they're chatting. She tells her that Jack Barlow is doing a mission and Ashley seemed very surprised, but she was basically like, "Well, I mean, if that's what he wants." They talked about how the Mormon culture, it's not just your religion, but it's like your entire lifestyle. And Heather is just glad that her daughters are not choosing that. She said that she is humiliated when she goes back and reads her own diaries about the things that she said, because it's like, "I want to get married one day. I want to serve God. She goes, "It's everything that had been drilled into my head from childhood on. And I'm writing them in my diary as though they're my thoughts when they were, thoughts that were like programmed into me, basically." She said, "I would never say a negative thing to Jack, but what he's doing is everything I'm against. Morally, politically, socially, it's like everything I hate. And this mission is like boot camp for Mormonism. And I just don't think Lisa knows what he's getting into. And she should probably prepare him for what he is about to happen." But the one person that could help her is the one person she didn't want to talk to about it, me. Okay, now we're back at Mary's house, and Meredith is coming over for a visit. Meredith says, "It's ridiculous that I'm being accused of spreading a gay rumor about Sean, since I have a gay son of my own, and I'm on the hosting committee for the GLAAD Awards. And yet you still alluded to there being rumors about her husband. Yeah, you didn't say what they were. But if you're now trying to act like I would never out somebody because I'm an ally, no, You got mad, and on camera, you were the first person to say that there are rumors about Angie's husband and her marriage. So now Mary is telling Meredith about the Greek Easter party that Angie's having. And she said, you didn't know about it? You weren't invited? And Meredith said, no. But she's going to be out of town for the GLAAD Awards, so she doesn't care either way. But now that Mary knows that Meredith isn't going to be there, Mary doesn't want to go. Because Mary doesn't like the other women. Why? Because they aren't showing Mary that they're making any effort at all to be better people. Yeah. The way you are, Mary? Are you really making an effort to be a better person? No, you just sit there and criticize people's clothing and how much they eat right to their face. Anyway, Mary doesn't have the energy for these people. Okay, so we're back at Angie K's house, and Angie and Sean are, setting up for Greek Easter, getting last minute, touches done to the tables. And Angie's phone rings, and it's Mary at what I assume is just a few hours before the party, telling her that she can't make it. Why? Because her home in Vegas flooded a year ago. And the renovation is just finished. So she's got to go look at it right now. Is this something she just learned at the last minute? That's why she's only canceling now and not the day she got the invitation. This is so dumb. Angie just says, "Oh, that's too bad. I was really looking forward to you." And Mary goes, "Well, don't take it personally." And Angie goes, "I don't." We learn a little bit about Angie's childhood. Her mother died young, and her father became a widower of 7 children when he was just 44 years old. He gave his children a great love for the Greek culture and traditions, and he never let them forget where they came from. It's weird because Angie, on the other hand, never even mentioned that she was Greek. When she said she was going to have a Greek Easter, I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if Sean's Greek. So the Barlows arrive, and Whitney and Justin and their kids. Heather is there. Monica and her mom and her 2 younger daughters. And then, and just a bunch of rando relatives, I assume. Angie gives a welcome speech about thanking everyone for coming, and then the speech is about Jesus. And in Heather's confessional, she said, "I think Angie is casting herself as Jesus in this story of persecution and resurrection. So I guess that makes Meredith Brutus." And then she goes, "No, wait, Judas." I was thinking of Caesar. So at one point during the party, Heather talks to Lisa about the fact that she was triggered that Heather invited Angie over to her house, to paint birdhouses. And Lisa's like, "It's okay, we're fine because, we stay on the surface." And Heather's like, "No, I think we're deeper friends than that. And I wish you would have talked to me about Jack's mission." Lisa says she doesn't want to talk to Heather about it because she knows that Heather has had a bad experience with the Mormon church. She wrote a book called Bad Mormon, and she would like Jack to be a good Mormon. So why would she talk to Heather about it? She wants to be in a good headspace so that she can be supportive of Jack. And, I get that 100%. I don't think Lisa was happy when Jack finally told her this is what he was going to do. But what's done is done. Jack chose this without consulting with his parents, without Lisa's knowledge whatsoever. And there's nothing to be done other than ruin your relationship with your son or find a way to support him in what he chose. So I do get that. Meanwhile, Angie has pulled Monica aside to have a little chat. Since Lisa got in her head earlier at the candle shop. All right, this is interesting. Monica does admit right now that she didn't hear the rumor from Meredith. She heard it from the Salt Lake City streets. The mean streets of Salt Lake City. She's like, "That's the rumor out there, Angie. I didn't make it up, and I didn't hear it from Meredith." And Angie goes, "But you're repeating it." And Monica goes, to you. I repeated it to you. At the suggestion of Whitney, by the way. Let's not let Whitney off the hook here. Whitney stirred this pot. When they went to that restaurant where they were sitting at the bar and Whitney first brought it up to Monica, and then Whitney said, but I don't want to be the one to tell her because I want to stay out of this thing between Meredith and Angie. Then at Lisa's après-ski party, Whitney brought it up again to Monica and said, we need to tell Angie because she's our friend, right? So she was I can't even believe I'm saying that Whitney was a mastermind, but yeah, she was the mastermind behind getting Monica to do the dirty work here. So I hope that doesn't go unnoticed here. We cut back to Heather and Lisa's conversation, and Heather says to her, if you're going to send your kid off into the wilderness, you should know the good and the bad of it. And Lisa said, well, I have a good experience of the Mormon church. And Heather's like, what? It's all the same. The church is the same for you, for me, for everybody. It is what it is. There aren't two versions of the Mormon church. And Lisa goes, well, I would wear this to church. She's wearing just like a strapless top and pants, I think. And Heather goes, oh, come on, you wouldn't. In her confessional, Heather goes, well, I'll tell you what, if Jack sells Lisa's version of Mormonism, he'll do quite well on his mission. Come join us. It's all Vita tequila and strapless dresses. We cut back to Angie and Monica now, and Angie goes, I just wish you would have pulled me aside. And Monica goes, that is what I literally did. She did. She and Whitney pulled Angie aside privately. We have something to tell you. I mean, look, it was on camera, but still. So Angie has to throw in I've heard things about you that I would never repeat. So Monica's pissed. She's like, yeah, bring it. What do you got? Foreclosure? Check. Divorce? Check. Affair? Check. What else do you got? And Angie's like, no, I would never. Monica's like, I own it all. I stand in it. You tell me you heard something about me. I'm not going to be like, how dare you? I'd be like, what did you hear? So Angie doesn't like the way this is going, probably because Monica has a good point here. I think, in my opinion, Monica keeps countering with valid things. And so Angie just says, you're getting elevated. This isn't the place. You're the one that brought this up, Angie, at your Greek Easter with children present. So Monica goes, I'm the only one that said the rumor to your face. And you hate me for that when you should be hating other people. All right, so here comes Linda, Monica's mother, or LD, as she introduced herself to Angie's father before she hit on him. So she comes and sits down, and Monica's like, hi, Mom, Linda. You're both beautiful, powerful women. And she's like, thank you. She's like, bury the hatchet. Greek and Portuguese are so similar. We're very passionate people. Who's Greek? Oh, Angie. Angie, I think she mentioned that. Anyway, Angie goes, it's fine. We're not fighting. We're just having a conversation that I would love to wrap up. Monica goes, yeah, wrap it up so that you can bring it up to me again the next time I see you. So Linda keeps trying to get Monica to calm down and, reminding her daughters are here. And all around, basically taking Angie's side. Not necessarily. She just seems to be blaming her daughter for her actions. And Monica's getting pissed. Or more pissed, I guess, than she already was. Because she's like, I didn't start this, she says to her mother. I love when people come for me and then get mad when I defend myself. And Angie goes, I'm not coming for you. Monica is really more angry with her mother, Linda, than she is with Angie. So because it's getting too heated, Angie gets up and she leaves. There are children present. Yeah, again, you brought this up. And I honestly think Linda made this way worse. And clearly, she and Monica have mother-daughter issues that go deep. Linda won't stay out of it. And she's talking to her in Portuguese and reprimanding her basically like she's a child. And I know people are triggered by the way Monica is speaking to her mother disrespectfully, but I'm triggered by Linda speaking to her grown daughter like she's a child. It's weird. It's uncomfortable. And this is the second time that I felt like Linda, aka LD, wanted to be a housewife herself. Remember, she hit on Angie's lovely widowed father. So, hot take, I don't like Linda. Monica gets up and leaves and goes like off into a corner by herself. She's crying. And Linda is apologizing to Angie and Sean. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes, it's their home. Angie's like, you're so lovely, but you don't need to apologize. This is Housewives. Your daughter, Monica, is doing what she's supposed to be doing for this show. This party isn't filmed because we just want to see what a beautiful Greek Easter celebration looks like. It's because they're real housewives and confronting each other about issues that they have. That's what we're all here for. It's a TV show, Linda, and your daughter is doing her part, and she's doing pretty damn good for a newbie, I think. And Linda, something's going on, and I don't think Linda's a perfect mom. Listen, we all have our baggage, but there could be some faults on both sides. Let's leave it at that. Linda's like, can we have some fun? I'm ready for fun. Are you, Linda? You're a guest in someone's home that you don't know, total strangers, and you're going to announce that you want some fun to happen at this party while your daughter's in the corner crying? You're weird. That's weird. And if I brought my mother to a friend's house, I would never want my mother to announce that she wants this to be fun. Like the party's not going the way she wants or something. That's embarrassing. Angie's A-okay with it. Angie's like, you are fun. Then LD Linda is sitting next to Justin. I'm going to sit here with the boys. Let's talk sports. Is she drunk? Or like bipolar or something? She's very strange and erratic. She's clapping her hands now, asking if any of the husbands ever played college ball. Finally, Justin's like, I think John played a little volleyball in school. I mean, Linda's trouble. Now it is time to dance and have people throw singles at you. So not only are the Greeks similar to the people of Portuguese, but they are also similar to the people of Chippendales. We start with Angie's dad dancing, and there's Greek music playing, and it's fun, and everyone's having a good time and laughing. And LD remembers that her daughter Monica is crying in the corner. And she goes over and sits down, and she goes, I want to go dance. And Monica goes, go dance, Mom. LD, no, you're my daughter. I'm concerned about you. And Monica goes, I literally don't believe that because you just said you want to go dance. Your behavior shows that I'm not your concern. And it reminds me how I don't want to raise my daughters. I won't let her feel alone. I won't let her be massacred. And then Linda starts laughing. What is wrong with her? Monica, is this funny to you? Linda, it is funny. What the hell? Monica goes, you are a heartless person. So Monica said, and you know what? You go dance and you can get your own way home. We're leaving. And she gets up and she, grabs her two little girls. I guess she leaves her mom there because they're getting in the car. And in her confessional, Monica is crying. And she said, I don't want to say this. I hate to say this, but I wish I had a different mom. And she's crying. I feel bad for her. I know. I'm going to hear from you guys who are on the side of Linda/LD. But I just think that unless you know them personally, we don't really know the full story yet. Maybe we won't ever, but for sure now I don't. There's some deep-rooted stuff there. And maybe stuff between LD and her mother, Anyway, this episode just ends with Lisa and Angie kind of whispering to each other. Lisa goes, I feel really bad for her mom. And Angie goes, I know, me too. I feel terrible. So, they're not Monica fans anyway. So, of course, they're going to be Linda LD fans. Anyway, that was it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. And if you click on the bell icon, you'll be notified every time I post something new. Every Wednesday, I am starting to post recaps and reviews of Sister Wives Season 18. So don't miss that. And as always, I am an Amazon affiliate. If you happen to be an Amazon shopper, please go through one of my links down below. Do your shopping, and I will get a small credit for any purchases that you make. That's it for me. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.